Okay. Wow.
So yeah, we were just talking about the persistent stressors from the violent environments inside of the cities in America.
Yeah.
And you were saying how if you really look at it, our focus should be on food and other resources.
Right.
Because a lot of times those weapons, it kind of comes in after the fact. And you may not even get to that point.
Well, you just think, we're largely a reactive populace. So, Sun Tzu also in the Art of War, it's better to outthink your enemy than it is to outfight him. So we have to think, okay, what are they up to? What are they doing? Okay, they're just basically pulling us all together so it could be a duck shoot, right?
Right.
So what I gotta do is I have to get out away from. There was a video that I watched. It was one of the oldest survivors of the Rosewood attack in the Carolinas, right? Mm-hmm. And they was like, what would you tell, being that you lived through this and you've seen all of this carnage and everything that took place that night, what would you tell, the future generations? She said, never live in a place where your enemy can surround you. She said, never live in a place where your enemy can surround you. And in America, we are surrounded by everything that's against us.
I heard Martin Johnson, I don't know if you guys follow him on Facebook, but he's called the Crime Chaser in Chicago.
Yeah.
And normally he gives, up to date, on the ground information about different things happening in the city. And recently there was a shooting where 10 people were shot. Yeah. And he came on to talk about it, and he was like, remember I told you a sitting duck is a dead duck. In Chicago, you don't do gatherings, for no apparent reason in the evening hour, and it's just a dangerous situation. A sitting duck is a dead duck. That's what he said. And I was like, wow.
This is the state of Black America is. It's such a dire situation.
It is.
And, I come from a background, gang background, so the murders, the shooting, the incarceration, and all of that. And then I was sharing with you, when I got 29 years old, I left all of that and moved to Atlanta, where I did a 360, 180. I did 180,
yeah,
okay?
I got you.
But people say 360, but it's 180, you go the other way. But however, after about 3, 4, or 5 years being there, I was a victim of gun violence.
After everything you
I had children,
and
and 2 15-year-old, and I was sharing. I did a video about it. So after they took the car, they let me get far enough, thank God. And then when they shot me, and it hit me in the foot, but thank God it didn't hit any bones. How the bullet went in, it was just a blessing that I didn't lose my life, because I have another friend, Bossum, who did lose his life getting up to go to work. Same thing, 2 15-year-olds.
Wow.
Came up on him, carjacked him, killed him. Actually, 2 people from my hometown, New Haven, Connecticut, were killed in Atlanta, after leaving Connecticut. So anyway, after I get shot, I'm in the hospital, and the detectives say, they got the guys who shot you. So I'm like, okay, that's cool, they got him or whatever. So a few minutes later, he came back and said they didn't have him. 2 weeks later, I get the state police report, and I start reading it, because they found my car that night. So I know they had the car, but he said they didn't find the guys, but they did, in fact. They got one of the guys, but they had got away, and then the state police found him like a half hour later, walking with his mom. You know how, Mom, come get me, I'm in the bushes. One of those situations, and they stopped and got all his information. So I'm reading this, and I go on Facebook, put the guy name in there. He popped up on Facebook, the guy that shot me. Now, the detective, first he said, we got the guy. Then he came back and said, no, it wasn't them. So I called him. I was like, hey, I know who shot me.
That's right.
This guy, Maurice Ware. He was like, he started questioning me. How you know all of this? I was like, listen, I got the state police report, and everything's here in the state police report. And then the detective said, oh, yeah, he's 15 years old. I was like, you told me they didn't have him. You didn't have him. Then after that, I was like, yo, I'm through in America. They don't care. It was inconvenience for him to put
it's not even that they don't care.
It was
They're doing
crazy.
it on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, the same,
But
and
you
anybody
get killed.
listening, if you've had someone in your family
Mm-hmm.
that got killed by gun violence, I would say in my family's case, we pretty much know who did it in most cases,
Yeah.
and could take you right to them.
Right.
But the police never go there.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, you're dealing with a situation where you have 13, 14, and 15-year-olds who are coming up on being mass murderers
Yeah.
because they're being, they're getting negative reinforcement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're shooting people, they're killing people, and they're
Yeah.
robbing people.
Right.
The government and the, I'm trying to say police, but you know, my first word was pigs, but they know exactly who they are and they know where they are.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they're the ones who sold them the weapons in the first place.
Exactly.
So you gotta remember that part. So yeah, they're it's not that they don't have time, they don't have the budget, it's not that they don't care. They're doing it on purpose to create instability and chaos in our communities. And it's the same scenario no matter where you look at it in the part of the world. That's always their advantage. They always are looking to create chaos and instability. So they do it on purpose. They are the ones who brought the children the guns in the first place. Okay. And they automatically know that the same things that the children saw the video games doing are the same things they're going to come outside and do with those guns. Okay. And then after they do it, they all go on Instagram and Facebook and brag about it. Right. It has happened to all of us. I lost a nephew like this. We knew exactly who did it. They celebrated in public on social media after they killed them. And you know, yet they're still walking around having a chance to do the same thing to somebody else or have them themselves get killed.
Well, I you know, our communities in the West, and it's a little bit hot here. You know, I made it to Ghana, and it's beautiful. Hot. It's beautiful here, and it's a way out. You know, it's definitely a way out. And you brought your boys over, and you have your daughter with you. So he was like, let me get them out of Chicago.
We had a chance. So,
yeah.
You know, a lot of people said a lot of negative things about what we were trying to do. But times are changing. And because of these videos and because we are here giving our firsthand eye accounts of how we're experiencing things on the ground here in Africa, a lot more people are coming to get a little bit of interest and understanding. I think this is the first time in a long time that we've been in this much control over what we can share with each other. So in that sense, you know, it's much better. You know, than it may have been even 10 years ago when we first started trying to come over here. It was like, oh my God, you going to Africa? You know, it's like you about to jump into a black hole in the middle of the Milky Way galaxy or something. Like, no, I'm just going to get on an airplane and fly over. It's not really, you know, I'm not dropping off the face of the earth. And that's how people used to take it. But now, I'm getting a lot of interest. Friends I grew up with, family members, you know, and every day people are just showing up to Ghana, to the Gambia, to Senegal, to Tanzania, you know every day.
It's interesting, you know, I've been, before everyone started really coming, you know, I was working in the movement. You know, I was in Gambia for over 3 years. Just living, and then I decided to get involved, you know, to help people come. And I must say, it from day one, the very start, you know, we have to really, really look at our role here. We really have to look at our role here, and it should be that of coming to integrate. Reacclimate, return
right
to, and you know, I mean, nothing's perfect,
right.
However, we definitely want to make sure that we do not present ourselves in a way that contradicts the year of return. It's supposed to be a great time,
right?
You understand what I mean? A great time, a great coming together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's nice. And
Yeah.
we're adults, and we know that we're going to have problems.
Right.
You know, so however, there is that light at the end of the tunnel as long as we're coming together and we're building. I spoke with a brother before, we talked about institutions, you know, having bylaws. And these are things that you can implement as a company.
Right.
You know, within my organization, you know, I've had over 100 people that came through training as employee, or, you know, a full-time resident, you know, and you're able to make that type of impact as an individual.
Yeah.
So we all come over with a degree of that, a sense of that. You know, I think a lot of time people will come over and say, hey, I can live for cheap there. You know, I can get a YouTube channel.
That's appealing.
And then, you know, you become a prostitute to this YouTube,
Google.
and being out there and people seeing you, and then you know, then you're just doing too much.
Well, you know, that goes deep. That celebrity vibe is something that's been ingrained in us for about the last 100 years in America. I mean, they did everything but beat it into our skulls. So this whole, you know, fame and celebrity worship is something that
clout chasing.
And unfortunately, it's almost like we're the last to know. We're not in on the joke at all.
No.
You know, we don't know the history of how did we come to even, you know, value celebrityism. You know, we don't even know the origins of it, why it happened, and what we're even a part of. And we're representing this every day and wanting to be more a part of it, as if that's like our number one priority and goal in life.
It's all about
and
vanity, individualism, you know.
I mean, you know, and all that stuff has its place, but to me, it's not in the top three. And sometimes for a lot of us, you know, I used to be one of those people that was kind of like, you know, it's whatever, you know, people got to make money. But I was working with somebody. I only had a chance to work with this film director one time, and she's a bad lady, B.A. Allen. And I was saying something about somebody, well, you know, that's his job. And she stopped me, and I'll never forget this. She looked at me, she said, we can all make more money. And that was the end of me making excuses for grown people.
Right.
You know, because I thought about that. What she said is absolutely true. I could go out here right now and make one or two different moves that is not in my character or my, you know, or my line of thinking, but I could do it to make money. But I choose not to. I choose not to, and I am not obligated to put other people on a pedestal who choose to do things that is just not forward thinking or helpful to anybody besides them being on that damn pedestal. You know, so she pretty much cleared me up in that day. You know, it's like it cured me from my whole celebrity. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. What more could the community be doing here?
In Ghana?
What more could our community, as you see, be doing here in Ghana?
We're doing a lot. I have to say that, you know, it's not the same as 20 years ago. There's a pathway to return. There's a pathway to repatriate that you can clearly put your eyes on in 2021, and that's thanks to all of us that's been coming. You know, we're kind of like the fourth or fifth generation repats. You know, since the Ma'afa started, and there is some progress in that area. There's organizations out here that you can call on. You could be sitting in your crib in Houston or LA somewhere and say, oh man, I want to go to Africa so bad. And you just reach out to a few people and start plotting your you can start plotting your journey. And it is not, you know, it took me 20 years to get here. We helped a family get here within 1 year.
Exactly.
You know, it's streamlined. It's not like the old days.
So it's
where,
moving now.
Yeah, it's moving. So to
pandemic.
credit us, and the other credit again is to us creating these this media. This is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, because we've done everything. We're not people who just sit here talking.
Right.
This man been hiking, you know,
Right.
you actually been in the dungeons,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Literally, you have to go up in there, then you have to create the media on top of it to share with everybody else.
Yeah.
But guess what? They're seeing it.
And you know what?
And they're vibing with it.
You know, as far
It's
as the media
working.
is concerned,
Yeah.
I wasn't really doing the YouTube like that. I've just been behind the scenes with people that do the YouTube, and that's what they do. So you got people out there that do YouTube for a living. I don't do YouTube for a living. I'm out there actually building business.
We getting to work.
And work is doing work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then, however, I feel that, you know, I'm obligated to actually be up here so that you all can have some variety.
Right.
Because I know as far as what need to be done, I don't really watch it because I'm so busy. I don't have time to watch it. But to capture my attention and get me to listen, you have to be saying something good. Then you have to be doing it. Yeah. That's important. You have to be doing something.
Yeah.
And because I can be more effective within my environment by going out and employing and bringing in Gambians. And, you know, I have Sierra Leone's and I got people from Senegal, and then, you know, Ghanaians, getting local people and bringing them in, young people and bringing them in and actually participating in the global economy. All right? If you're not participating in the global economy, you know, your basic needs are food, clothing, and shelter. Those are your 3 basic needs. If you're not producing them for yourself, you know, you're not somebody that is in a situation where you're independent or you're free. You know, you always have a landlord. You'll always be subjected to those who are producing those things. And we need to end that legacy of doing that.
Man, so that's, you know what? One of the brothers from here wrote a piece recently. I didn't even finish it yet. I still have it up on my tab to read. But he wrote a piece called "Why You Should Be Purchasing Land for Farming Right Now in Africa." Right now. So if you really want to talk about what we should be doing, we should be looking lively about this land.
Yeah.
We should be looking very lively about, you know, putting ourselves in a position to do exactly what you said, produce here, you know, manufacture here, trade here amongst ourselves, you know, at least. So for me, that's kind of like our number one priority at this point. Our business goals are all in alignment with that, and that's we're living it. We're not just talking about it. You know what I mean? So we are embarking on a farming project, like I was telling you about, and there's more. You know, there's more to do. There's so many things that need to be done, and it's not something that we can, you know, oh, I'll get to it in the future. We need to be looking at what we have right now and what we can build right now. And that's to me, if we think about what we should be doing.
We're gonna go into part 2.